Monday, 16th of October 2018. As you can see, Theresa May warned that working single parents, homeowners, disabled among millions devastated by universal credit. As analysis of the government's controversial welfare shake-up has revealed that as many as 1 in 5 households affected will be an average of £52 a week worse off. This week, the Secretary of State for Works and Pensions finally admitted for the first time that some people would be worse off under the current plans for the Universal Credit Scheme, with even some Tory MPs threatening to rebel against it unless the cuts to people's over welfare are mitigated by spending billions more before rolling it out across the country. Esther McVey confessed to Conservative colleagues that the government's flagship £15.8 billion welfare reforms would leave some families £200 a month worse off. This is depopulation in your face by a criminal government. It's time we stopped it, and we need to stop it now. They need to be locked up immediately. The corruption in Parliament is in your face now. It's so blatantly obvious, along with every single council, corrupt to the very core. Oh, and just take a look at that. Indonesia bought 400 million worth of attack helicopters last week, while we delivered 320 million in aid. Time to stop the criminal activities of Parliament. Parliament is just a criminal cabal that are robbing us blind, killing us, poisoning us, and then charging us to do it. How the Spanish Catholic Church has been hiding abuse cases for decades. The ecclesiastical leadership in the country refuses to provide any data on the incidents that it is aware of, with just 3 of the 70 dioceses passing on information to the prosecutors. They're all at it. They're all paedophiles. Now, you remember saying how they're planning on killing us all? Well, listen to this. No chance to say goodbye. A hospital in Toronto has proposed that doctors should have the authority to euthanize minor patients without even a word to the patients. Sick children in Canada may soon be euthanized without parental consent. It's in your face. They're killing us. And it's getting so in your face. If you don't want to stop it, then just go and top yourself, because that's what's coming. 15 years after the invasion of Iraq, and now largely out of the glare of the media, US and UK oil corporations start to flaunt the spoils of imperial conquest. You see, it was never about Gaddafi, the Iraq leader, whatever his name was now, being a tyrant, even though he was. It was all about the oil. That's all it was ever about. So Blair, the puppet for the oil companies, did exactly what they wanted. Another man that needs to be in prison. The Times. Saudi Arabia to admit Khashoggi died under interrogation. So what they've got to say there is they've got to admit that they murdered him. Plain and simple, murdered him. Because if the torture was that bad it killed him, that's murder. But of course, the UN gives the Saudis they're a great nation, they are, because they go around beheading women and whatnot just for being raped. Burko told to quit over report into sex pests MPs. Speaker not up to job, says Standards chief. Parasitical scum. And May makes last-ditch plea on Brexit. Scum, and of course it's the scum. Abused by MPs is covered up. abuse by MPs is covered up. Well, here's a shock. Never thought that had happened, did you? Oh, except they cover it up all the time. And parasitical alert, mum's the word. The Guardian. Why true crime is booming. Because there's no cops anymore that are worth anything. Anger and blockades as fracking starts again. This is an attempt to poison the water supply. Another depopulation tool. Nothing about getting any gas. May lobbies EU leaders in race to rescue Brexit summit deal. Ford has warned it would rethink its place in the UK under a new Brexit deal. Beware the curse of the Frankenbee. Express. Ant's divorce battle starts today. Well, we better put that on the front page then, because everyone wants to know that. Trouble brewing. We'll keep calm and carry on with Brexit. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. We'll keep calm and carry on with no Brexit. Victory. Evil thugs who prey on elderly face longer in jail after Daily Express with review of hate crime law. And the parasitical scum, I'm not even going to read about them. Are we closer to the truth on Khashoggi? Let's march for a fight. No. Progressive politics is back in town, really. And raised by rules, maybe it's your fault. Yeah, it's our fault for not being good little slave peasants. A journalist murder and a cover-up. Close to a deal. Now it's less likely than ever. May admits delays as EU raises doubt over reaching agreement. Oh, so we're going to have to delay it. We'll put it off until 2021, shall we? And then as we get to 2020, we'll put it to 2025. And there is no Brexit. This is treason. Tell lie graph. Ageism could be classed as hate crime. Worst stations for delays are revealed. Trump road killers murdered journalist. Oh, he's coming to the aid of the Saudis already. Fears of crisis cause capital flight in Italy. May calls for calm with no Brexit deal on brink. Ketamine to treat depression and parasites. Aye. Why Womoxen gets the thumbs down. Dementia milestone. Disease traced back to womb. Yeah. Fracking starts to despite protests. You see, the government don't give a shit what you do, what you say, until you go and drag them out and hold them accountable for their actions. Then they'll give you some credence for standing up to them, because they know they're a bunch of bullies, and that's it. Brexit deal faces further delays. Oh, what a shock. No Brexit then. Corbyn is right on the British Empire. Hawkins' final thoughts, except how it can it be because he's dead. MPs groped, abused and bullied women at Westminster. Inquiry into intimidation and sexual harassment produces damning findings on toxic culture in House of Commons. Dame Laura Cox's report says disturbing cases were covered up and female staff were repeatedly grabbed and propositioned. Former judge says that unless senior office officials step down, there can be little confidence that required reforms could be delivered. In other words, they're all a bunch of bent twats. Mirror. TV bill, my battle with cancer has saved many men's lives. And the parasitical scum. Another parasite. Oh, but I thought the world was overpopulated according to your brother. But here you are knocking them out left, right and centre. Well, once you're all sterilised, the world will be a better place. Oh, and by the way, because they're actually related, they can't have a kid together. So it'll be a surrogate mother, or it'll be grown in a test tube, and she'll wear a baby bump strap on to make it look like she's pregnant. Because they can't have kids together because their bloodlines are all linked, and they'd end up with demented babies, which they've had before. Metro. The bullshit about the baby thing crap. Neo-Nazi dad posed in KKK robe with his son. Shame on bullies and gropers in the Commons. Buck stops here over backstop. EU deal still achievable but must not split up UK, says PM. There is no Brexit. Absolutely not. And so that becomes treason by every single MP. The Star. Strictly duos duvet secret. Who gives a shit? It's Strictly again, and Megas Peggers a £10 pint now on beer. Now our beer's in peril. Give Killjoys the sack. Elf and safety snowflakes ban Christmas. That's because we're run by a group of Satanists, Luciferian, devil-worshipping, child-raping paedophiles that don't like Christians or Christmas. When are you going to get that? Financial Times. Macron's struggle to shake up French cabinet is telling. How technology is shaping the future of food. Europe's domination of high-end brands. Trump open to Saudi denials as isolation grows over Khashoggi. Pompey sent to Ryder. Finance names snub Davos in the desert. Kingdom opens probe. They murdered him. What are you going to do about it? What's the government's going to do? Nothing, because they like the dictatorship that is Saudi Arabia. Audit market loses only female leader after Grant Thornton chief bows out. McDonnell eases back on push for workers' shares. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.